Okay, we're going to rule out Quiddy, Pay, Matt Ryan, and Grant Stewart. Really productive week of practice, good week. Looking forward to being back in Lucas Oil. Have a lot of respect for Coach Rivera, right? He's a very accomplished head coach, and they got a lot of talent on their team, so it'll be a good matchup. I will tell you that Shaq is going to be active. You know, what happened is with Shaq is when he came back, you know, Chris and I sat down, thought probably would be 2 weeks before he played, but he had a good week. He's ahead of schedule, but not quite there yet, so he will be on a pitch count. But he had a good week, and our goal is to get him out there. You know, we feel he's the best defensive player in the league. Our goal is to get him out there for 100% of the snaps as soon as we can, but we're just not quite there yet, you know, and so we're going to do what we think is best for Shaq and what's best for our team, but really encouraged with the progress that he's making. So open it up from there.
Frank, who's going to punt?
Same.
Matt.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You did add a punter. Can you give some context behind that decision? I know it's practice squad.
Sometimes you just want to take an extended look at a guy, you know, and you have a workout, and you say, that he had a pretty good workout, and, you know, let's keep him around for a week and, you know, see him multiple days.
Frank, you've done this for a long time, and you've coached a bunch of different quarterbacks with a bunch of different skill sets. We've talked about how Matt and Sam are different. Without getting into specifics, what have you pulled from this week to sort of open up the playbook, if that's the right phrase, or find the things that Sam can do well?
Yeah, absolutely. Always trying to play to the player's strengths, and you know, and so, you know, we know what that is for Sam. Obviously, I don't want to go into detail about that, but you're right, Zach. I mean, you know, you do. You every 20% of it's different. You know, 80% of it's the same. That's pretty much our standard way that, as we've gone through it through the years. That's pretty much how we approach it. The core playbook stays the same. Sam handles that core very well. He had a great week of practice. But there's 20% of it, I think, that's different with him as our quarterback.
Frank, you have some advantage, obviously, because you have the element of surprise. At the same time, do you have to do some projecting on the other end about what Washington, or how Washington might defend you, knowing that you've made the change in quarterback?
No doubt. And I'm sure, like, what happens, I just know from being around, like, they're going back and looking at Sam's old film. They're looking at his college film, right? They're looking at every preseason snap he's taken, right? So that's what's great about this game. You know, you turn over every stone to try to find an advantage. So you do have to, both sides have to project a little bit.
Frank, what role, if any, will Matt even have on Sunday? Like, do you want him on the sideline? Do you want him up top?
Likely be on the sideline. You know, I'm excited for the role that he'll play. Obviously, you know, he's been great all week, been great in meetings, you know, been great in meetings, you know, helping out Sam, helping out us, you know, as a coach, you know, just talking through things, but not going overboard, right? I mean, you know, he talked about that right away. He's like, hey, listen, I'm here to help. I want to help. But at the same time, it's, you know, you don't want to go crazy. So you got to let Sam do his thing. You got to give Sam his space. So I think that's the way it'll be on Sunday. I think he'll be there for Sam. I think he'll be there for us. But I don't think he'll try to crowd anybody out. I think he'll let him have his space.
I think Sam has handled just the week of getting, you know, first team reps, and first time for him really doing that heading into a game.
Really well. I mean, you know, from day one, just feels like he belongs. That was as expected. Had a really good week throwing the football. Really good week throwing the football. Really good accuracy all week. Good in his progressions. Good running the offense, executing the offense, and everything that we do.
When you have, you mean the pitch counts, whatever that is with Shaq, a player of his caliber can still make an impact in 12, whatever.
Exactly. And, you know, there's a little bit of fudge room in a pitch count. It's not, hey, X number of plays, and then you're out. You know what I mean? It's, hey, it's about this many plays. And you know, so it's about so many plays. And, you know, you factor in all the things. But I'm excited to see him back out there. I mean, like I told him, I said, wasn't even expecting you were going to be out there this week. Really wasn't. And but he had a good week of practice and looked good. So excited to see him out there.
One of your challenges back in 2018 with Andrew Luck was getting him to balance, using his running ability when it would help the team, but also being available for that next snap. How do you approach that with Sam, who's essentially a rookie?
Yeah, I've already talked to him about that, talked to him about it early in the week, how we feel his perspective should be, whether he's scrambling or, whatever the case may be. If he's got the ball in his hand, he's not a running back. He's our quarterback, right? So, we expect him, we need him to stay healthy and want him to stay healthy. So, it's just the fact that he can do what he can do with his feet. I think that, presents challenge, for challenges for defenses. And so, but he's been told to be smart. There's a time to take a guy on when the game's on the line, and there's a time to get down and be smart.
Frank, I know you'll say it's not about you, but I'll ask anyway. It's been a weird time for you, I'm sure, right? You had to make a change that you've never had to make before, a lot of criticism, questioning, et cetera. What's that been like? Are you able to completely block that out, et cetera? Has it been a different experience?
Yeah, but it's been a good experience. Every year it's something different, and so they're always valuable. Every experience is valuable. Like you said, it has been a unique week, but as you said, you focus on the mission. We have a mission. You focus on the team. You focus on the other players, on the other coaches, but you don't pass up opportunities. When you're going through these things, the good and the bad. So you digest them and you learn from them, and you see how you feel about those things, and I think they help you over the long run.
How is the team, Frank? We talked to these guys, and they didn't hide the fact that they were shocked. We heard that word a lot.
Yeah.
And we know how much they respect Matt Ryan, and honestly, I bet a lot of them didn't want this move to happen. So where do you think the team is at right now?
I think the team's at a really good spot. I think they were shocked. I think they love and respect Matt, and I think they love and respect Sam. And I think these guys know that the way it operates in this business, that there is a business side to this thing that every one of us know, coaches and players, and you have to respect that and remain professional. So I think our players have the maturity to deal with that. And exactly what you said, I think, is true, Zach. You can feel both. You can feel the shock and hurt for Matt and respect, but at the same time, you have to feel okay, Sam, let's get behind Sam, and we're going to make this thing work. It has to be that way in this league.
Frank, do you know when Matt got hurt on Sunday, or is this just, you think, all?
Yeah, it was in the second quarter. I remember seeing it, kind of stepped up and out to the right, and I saw him fall on his right shoulder and get up and kind of give it one of these. And, it's all too familiar for quarterbacks, but, but he was able to kind of grind through it. I asked him once or twice, how you holding up? And I knew there was no way he was coming out, but I think as the week went on, it was a little worse than he thought it was going to be honest with you. I talked to him today out there. He said he was making a little bit of progress, but I do think it was a little bit worse than he anticipated.
Frank, real quick, how's Nick held up? How's he reacted to all this? This isn't really gone how he probably anticipated it.
No, and obviously, Nick and I are close, so we've talked a lot, and yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey for him, but he's the perfect person to handle, right? He's very grounded. He's been through about every scenario you can be through and played about every role you can play as a quarterback. It's quite crazy if you really follow all the ups and downs of his career. So we were kind of laughing about that the other day, not laughing, but just having one of those moments about how it's been for him and all the different positions that he finds himself in. But what it affords him is great perspective, and it also affords him the ability to help Sam, to be there for Matt, the whole deal, and really to be there for the team.